So you found a home in the perfect location, the perfect neighborhood, but the home needs some major TLC or maybe even some minor TLC. Let's talk about home renovation loans here on the Unlocking Doors podcast. Michelle, let's talk about this. So we see this quite often, especially with, people love older, mature neighborhoods, which come with older, outdated homes.
With paneling and floral wallpaper. And
yeah, now don't get rid of the floral wallpaper because that's coming back in.
Not the way it used to be.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding.
You can do wallpaper, but you got to change it out.
Yeah. So one thing we're seeing right now with the shift in the market that we've seen over the past 18 months is that buyers are picky. They have the opportunity to be a little bit more picky right now. And so what that equates to is they come in, they find a home in a neighborhood that they really like, but it needs these updates and they don't want to come out of pocket for that money, and they don't want to
or they don't have the money to come out of pocket. Or they don't have
the money to come out of pocket, and then they don't want to move into a home that hasn't been updated in 35 years. Right. So let's talk about what programs you have available, and let's talk about how that looks for a buyer just a standard home in a neighborhood that's going to need some cosmetic updates, maybe some mechanical components, maybe a new roof, stuff like that. What kind of programs do y'all have?
Gosh, there's a couple of different programs. For years, people have asked, well, I want to do an FHA loan, but I need the renovations. Well, there's the FHA 203K. It's a program that's been around for a long time. And I'm so grateful to be able to offer that program. Because if you're buying a house, say you find a $300,000 house and you're looking through it and you see the HVAC is dated. The house itself is dated cosmetically. You don't like the brick color out and, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
That's all expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you could spend $100,000 pretty easily on those things.
I could spend that real easily.
I know, me too. And so coming up with that money is difficult. Well, before you just go, well, I'll just go to the bank for a home improvement loan. Well, no, you're not. If you only put 3.5% down payment on that house when you purchased it. So with an FHA program, a renovation program that's available, the 203K, and there's two different ways to do it. You can do a streamline or you can do a full. A full is going to be for larger amounts and include any of the structural, improvements and things like that. But your down payment is going to be based on the entire cost.
Yeah. So purchase price plus the cost of repairs. And then you're going to put 3.5% down on that with the FHA.
Exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they wonder, well, what's the benefit? I'm just getting, they have trouble visualizing that it's not 3.5% down on the home, and then they have to come out of pocket another additional portion or whatever. And it really is a huge benefit to just have to do 3.5% down on that. And it can, like, I've got a listing right now that we've probably had, it is an amazing location. It's almost an acre on a creekside lot.
Oh my.
And it's got a ton of character. And everybody who's come in and looked at it, they all have the same comments about what they want to update. Finally, a buyer was pre-approved with an FHA 203K loan, and their realtor, who is, I think this is something he specializes in, is helping buyers with this stuff. And, they came in and made an offer, and the process is going pretty smooth right now. Knock on wood. I never like to talk about deals until they close.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going smooth at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a great program. Now, what you have to be prepared for as a buyer is you've got to know who your contractor is going to be, because the lender's going to approve the contractor, make sure that contractor is legit.
It can't be Uncle Bob.
It cannot be Uncle Bob, and you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
So, and then the contractor is going to have to complete some paperwork.
Right.
And then you've got to make decisions pretty quickly on what you're going to do to the house.
Right.
So, because, you are doing a purchase loan and a construction loan at one time.
Yeah.
It can still close in 30 days, but you don't typically see that because that's just a lot of decisions at the same time.
Yeah.
Or quick decisions. And then the appraisal is going to be done based on the property being like it is, and then after all of these improvements. So the good news is you get to see how you're increasing the value of your home
Right.
with the improvements being made, so you feel comfortable with spending that money. And then the lender obviously is going to qualify you based on the house being complete.
Right.
But it's a fabulous way to buy a dated home that a lot of buyers may be totally ignoring because they didn't know this program was even available.
Yeah. No, it's not just FHA 203K loans. Y'all also have some options for
You can do it as a
loans.
conventional.
Yeah.
Or even think about, you can use a renovation loan program. Say that this is a scenario that just recently came by, and I'm seeing it more and more. People started construction, but they didn't finish it. And now the house is available to purchase. I mean, you think about how many people have started the construction of a home and the interest rates were 4% and now they're not, and the house is now complete, and or they ran out of money and didn't get to complete, or they ended up in a divorce in the middle of building a house. There are programs, I mean, you can use this program to finish construction.
Gotcha.
You could use this program to rebuild after a burnout.
You can use this program so you can do a 203K loan to buy a property that's not complete construction and finish
as long as it has a slab. If the slab is down, then you can do it. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And with the conventional renovation loan program, you can do it as an investor.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'll have to
there's
look
just,
into that.
I know. I thought about you whenever I was thinking that.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of ways that you could really be using this program. There's up north where the cost of housing is so high, and I could see it playing here. If you were to put, I'm not going to say this correctly. It's going to not be politically correct, but if you put a granny pod, if you put a granny pod in the backyard, a mother-in-law suite, whatever you want to call it, so that you can take care of your aging parents on your property, as long as the city is okay with that.
Yeah.
You could use the 203K. I mean, you could use a renovation loan for that too.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you were fixing to get us canceled, but granny pod's not that bad. Yeah, that's not that bad. I thought it was going to be something else. I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, no, I won't get us in that much trouble. But so there's a lot of usages, ways to use that program.
Yeah. And one thing we talked about in a previous episode was just how a lot of buyers, sellers, and even, well, I'd say especially realtors who let their ego get in the way, whenever they see something that doesn't fit the mold, the deal is done. And having access to these kind of programs, it gives people options to where if they are seeing this home in this neighborhood, creekside lot, beautiful mature oak trees, but it needs some cosmetic updates or it needs a new HVAC or electrical service updates. And this is a way that you can get that house and you can really make it your own, and you can make it safe and functional. And you can do it with a little out of pocket, you know? So anyways, I think it's a great program. And if you are thinking about buying a home this year and you want something like that, or maybe you've seen something online, a property that's been sitting on the market for, a few months now, and you want to go in and make your changes to it, this is a great option for you. So thanks for checking out this episode of the Unlocking Doors podcast. Be sure and reach out to Michelle about those renovation loans. Share this episode with a friend, subscribe to our channel, and we will catch you on the next episode.